Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel for another video and welcome back to our weekly Mounjaro update where I share all things that happened last week on my personal Mounjaro journey, as well as some big news things that happened or anything else that we just sort of need to talk about in a weekly update. I do this every single week and I would love to have you hit that subscribe button if you are new here and are just joining us. I also share all types of other stuff here on this channel. I've lost over 100 pounds using Mounjaro and compounded tirzepatide, and yeah, love to have you stick around. Okay, so this week I actually have quite a lot to talk about. There is a lot of stuff that has happened in the news. I have some orderly updates for you. I have a weigh-in for you because I finally stepped back on the scale. And so I'm just going to jump right on into it and hope that this doesn't get super long. I'm in my like comfy sweatshirt and all of that today. So we're just gonna chill, relax, and have some Mounjaro discussion. Okay, so to start it off, we will start with my weigh-in as always. So you guys know that I've been on a little bit of a scale hiatus or whatever. So it's been about 3 weeks since the last time that I stepped on a scale. I hid the scale for myself so I wouldn't be doing it all the time, but I do want to weigh like once every 3 to 4 weeks, monthly-ish, just so I can make sure that I am doing and continuing to do what I want to be doing on this journey. Because most of you guys know I've lost over 100 pounds, so I am in maintenance and I'm not trying to lose a lot more weight, but I want to make sure that I'm not gaining or losing more or whatever. So I did step on the scale and this morning I weighed 151.4 pounds, which is like the exact same thing that I weighed 3 weeks ago. And I actually was a little bit nervous about this because if you don't follow me over on, I keep messing with my hair. If you don't follow me over on my Facebook group, the kids and I went to the Great Wolf Lodge on Thursday and Friday of this week. And I ate pizza with them and they made like a candy salad. My oldest daughter brought a friend and I ate a few pieces of candy salad. So I ate a few things that I don't normally eat. And so I was worried that it was actually going to be up. And I was like, maybe I should wait till next week to weigh. But I'm glad I didn't because it ended up being, just around what I normally have been weighing. And I will say this time, if you know, you know, I almost died on the stairs on Great Wolf Lodge last time I went there. You'll be happy to know that I ate a protein bar and some fruit before I went this time. So I did not try to pass out. I did very well with that. I learned from my past mistakes and I moved forward, which is all we can do, right? Okay, so Chris actually weighed in as well this week. Now, last week I mentioned to you guys that he has been trying to slow down the weight loss. He was 176.8 last week and he was 176.6 this week. So he held steady with his weight, which is good. That is what he is trying to do as well. His like overall goal was to be 180. And so he started to be under that. He is 5 foot, like 5'10", 5'11" for reference. So 170 to 180 is actually a really good weight for him and his body type. He just wants to prevent from going any longer. So he actually went almost 3 weeks between, well, it was like a little over 2 weeks between shots. And he just took his injection with me on Friday. And so he's going to be like spreading them out a little bit more to see if he can do more of like a microdosing schedule. Okay. Now, let's just jump into all of the other things. I do have a little bit to talk about with Orderly today to give you guys a little bit of an update. So many things are changing like so fast. So I want to make sure I keep like the most recent offering and stock all up to date so that you guys aren't like trying and, you know, I don't want to say something and then it'd be wrong a week later. So I try to really keep you guys up to date on what's going on with this. Now with semaglutide, since that is the most recent thing that has changed, the FDA, the new rule went into effect on May 22nd. So 503B pharmacies had to stop compounding. And so they did the same thing with semaglutide as they did with tirzepatide. So they used their 503B partner to mass produce and pre-purchase a lot of it. And because it has already been compounded and because it has already been pre-purchased through Orderly, they are able to legally continue to sell it. So of semaglutide right now, you can get up to 5 months. You can start still with their Simple Start program where you get 3 months of doses that increase each month for $249, or you can transfer in your higher dose or your current prescription for the standard rate, which I believe is $199. And then if you're a new patient and use code May50, you will get $50 off of that price. You would get it for $149 for your first month if you're transferring in. Same sort of thing on tirzepatide. The biggest change with tirzepatide is that because of the bud dates, when they stopped compounding in March, they were able to compound up until March 16th or 18th. It was one of those days, 19th, right around there somewhere. And so the latest bud dates that they have are September 14th. So you are currently able to order 3 months of the tirzepatide. They've dropped the 4-month option, and that's just because the stock is going to start expiring. But they are having the personalized meds coming out in August, and so things will kind of shift a little bit once that starts. But yeah, you can order 3 months right now of tirzepatide. You can also still get the simple start plan with tirzepatide is $4.99 for the 3 months on the lower doses. And then if you transfer in on a higher dose, you can still get that $50 off with the $50 coupon. If you are wanting to just transfer in on either the semaglutide or the tirzepatide on a lower dose, like say you're on 2.5 or you're on 5 all the time anyway, and you want to get that starter pack pricing, select that you are new to the meds when you go and fill the form out, and then it will offer you that deal. And I will have a link below to that plan or that simple start thing as well. And then the other big thing that they stopped doing is they are no longer offering semaglutide tablets. I'm not really sure why that change happened, but we just sort of got notification that they are stopping that. And then the only other thing, which I'm really excited about, is that Orderly has launched an app. So if you are a current customer with Orderly, you can go right now and download that app wherever you get your apps from. And you will be able to see your order history there. You can contact customer service. You can contact your medical team. You can do all sorts of fun things in there. So go ahead and download that from the App Store. I downloaded it on today's Sunday as I'm filming this. I downloaded it on Friday and I've been kind of playing around with it and seeing what you can do. And I really like it so far. So if you're a customer of Orderly, you can go and download that now. Okay, moving on to news that is going on. So as I just mentioned, compounded semaglutide for 503B pharmacies had to stop on May 22nd. So that was this past Wednesday. Okay, so you can no longer compound pure semaglutide, and that pure means without any other additives in it or any other vitamins or peptides or anything like that. If you want it in its pure form, you got to get it from somewhere that already mass produced it. I know Orderly did. I don't know. Let us know down below if other ones did. I don't want to speak on that because I don't know 100% for sure. But I think that there were a couple of other ones that were talking about doing it. Maybe Brello. Maybe. Okay. Now, on that same exact day, like literally the day that the 503Bs had to stop compounding semaglutide, Novo Nordisk hit Amble Health with a lawsuit. And I know that this has been shared a ton of times in all the different groups and all the different content creators, so I won't go over it in too much detail, but if you have not seen yet, they filed a lawsuit claiming false advertisement of personalized medication. So essentially they're saying that Amble Health is saying that all of these medications are personalized when in reality they are mass producing a ton of semaglutide with vitamin D3 or whatever, or B12, and then they are just kind of blanketly giving it to all of the customers. So it's not, in their minds, a true customized, personalized medication. So they're actually asking for monetary benefits or damages or whatever, and an injunctive relief that would require them to stop selling these personalized compounded semaglutide medications. So that's really unfortunate. I mean, it's just another one bites the dust, right? I do think that there are a lot of telehealths that kind of thought they were going to be able to skirt through with just labeling them as personalized. But from everything that I've heard, like from a legal standpoint, from different avenues that I've been listening to and been researching, it's going to be hard to prove in a court of law that 100,000 people need vitamin B12 added to their tirzepatide or to their semaglutide. And so when you have this formulation that you've put 20,000 people on, how are you going to be able to prove that that is true personalization? And so the trouble is going to be finding out how personalized it has to be able to be legal in that process. And so we'll see how that all unfolds. But it's unfortunate, like, you know, the playing field is getting smaller and smaller because of all of these lawsuits and all of this stuff going on. And, you know, another thing that I found an article on, which I sent it to my friend Melissa, and she was like, oh my gosh, Empower Pharmacy, who we know has been through some stuff with their, they've gotten hit with a lawsuit and a questionable inspection and all of that, but they also just have recently recalled 8,000 testosterone injections, citing quality concerns. So I'm not sure if that came from the inspection, but I found it a little bit of an interesting tidbit since they do produce a lot of the compounded medications, GLP-1s, that a lot of us use. You know, they have had, as I have heard, a lot of delays and a lot of shipping concerns as far as how long it is taking people to get their medicines. But everything that I had heard up until now regarding Empower was kind of tied into Mochi and that whole Mochi thing. And so now to hear that they are, you know, within their own problems, recalling some injections is a lot, right? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that develops, if more things end up getting recalled or if it was just going to be limited to the testosterone injections. The final major thing that I think is major that happened this specific week, because we talked about all of the Eli Lilly and I touched on all of the president stuff in a video last week, so this is just specific obviously to this week, is that Cigna has actually announced that they are going to be capping copays for GLP-1 medications at $200. Now, that is not, from what I've been able to find, that is just the Ever North division within Cigna. So it definitely will matter what plan you're on, and kind of waiting to see if other divisions within Cigna follow suit. But for right now, the Ever North division has said that they're going to cap prescription copays for GLP-1s at $200. That's a big deal, I think, because what we have seen with Caremark, with the CVS Caremark, and now with Cigna kind of shifting, is we're starting to see this sort of insurance shift towards being more open to the coverage of GLP-1s. And I think that I've always said that once one started to do it, then others would sort of follow suit. And, you know, it just took somebody starting the domino effect for everybody else to do it. And I really thought that it was going to be the whole Medicare, Medicaid thing. But since that didn't work out, since that got shut down in the government, maybe it's going to be these primary insurances, these, you know, private party insurances that end up doing it and setting the tone for how this will be going forward. So I think that's really interesting. And I think it's really great if you have Cigna. Again, I don't know, this will not be all of them. It'll matter your plans. You'll definitely have to contact them and talk to them about that. But another thing that I've heard with insurance companies is here. So we are in an area where there's a pretty large hospital system. And I have a really good friend who works for that hospital system. She's a respiratory therapist, and she qualified for Zepbound, you know, under everything within her actual insurance. The insurance approved it, but since it was a private hospital HR thing, the hospital tried to deny it, which I think, because it's like the insurance will approve it, and then the HR within the hospital had to approve it again. And it was really like, I don't know if that's how all hospital system insurances work. Let me know if you know anything about that. But I found that very interesting. And so what she had to do was file a prior auth with the insurance. Once it got covered by them, then it got kicked back from HR and they declined it. And then she had to do a bunch more like prior auth type stuff to get it approved finally. And it was a very long process. So it's not even, for some of us, obviously, just that the insurance is wanting to deny it. It's then possible that the employer can deny the coverage just because they don't want, you know, it all kind of falls back on the employer and how much they pay for health insurance and all that stuff. So I found that very interesting. That was not a like tidbit or a portion of it that I had heard yet. So I want to know what your thoughts are down below on that as well, as always. Okay, for my goals for this week, which is always what we wrap these videos up with, it is summer now for my kids and they are officially out. The pool party officially kicks off tomorrow on Memorial Day. While you're watching this video, I'll be at the pool because our pool opens tomorrow. And so with it being the summer, I have very few but important goals, I think, especially, week to week goals, okay? The biggest one is gonna be hydration. I tend to underhydrate in the summer and then I feel bad. Water fixes everything. I heard somebody say that people are like plants. If we're in a bad mood or if we're feeling one type of way, go outside, get some sunlight, drink some water, and it'll help everything. And it really is so true. It's like we need to suck in that vitamin D and that hydration. And so I need to make sure that while I'm sucking in all the vitamin D at the swimming pool, that I'm keeping hydrated because I have not been doing so. Or like last summer was very difficult for me to keep up on my hydration. Number 2 is to listen to my body cues. I don't know if you guys heard or saw about On the Pen, how he had a recent heart health scare this past week, but reading his article on that really kind of like ignited something in me that something that we all need to do, which is to listen to our bodies and take cues from what our body is telling us that we need and what we need to do and if we need to get help. And so one thing that I want to really try to do this week is be in tune with my body and how I'm feeling mentally, physically, emotionally, all the ways, so that I can keep a better overall picture of my health, because I do think that if you really listen to your body tells you things. Your body warns you of things and it lets you know when something's not right. And so we all probably need to be better. So that is one of my goals this week, is to really try to be in tune with me and my body and my health. Okay. And then the final thing is that I want to take 30 to 45 minute daily walks. This is also something that I majorly failed on last summer. I got kind of caught up in the pool and I would say, I'll swim at the pool, but I really wouldn't do enough like exercise to be exercise at the pool, if you know what I mean. So that's my other goal for this week. So that's my little update for today. I do have some more content coming for you guys later this week. We're going to do a what I eat in a day. We haven't done one of those in a very long time. It's been probably a month now. And then I, of course, have a GLP-1 discussions video for you guys and a couple of other things that I have been working on. I've just been sitting here today trying to do some work and plan my week out. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. And I hope that you had an amazing Memorial Day weekend with your family and that you remembered what this day is about and the sacrifices that were made for us to all be able to enjoy this holiday. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.